Since the inception of the Tinubu-led administration, one of the cardinal objectives of the federal government is to diversify the economy through mechanized agriculture, food production and distribution, thereby leading to food security and reduction in cost of staple foods in the market. To achieve this, the federal government partnered with farmers across Nigeria. The initiative has been executed across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. For instance, in Adamawa State, northeast Nigeria, prior to President Tinubu's administration, Nigeria's agricultural sector faced myriad of challenges that threatened both national food security and economic stability. The state, which traditionally is an agrarian state, was significantly affected by the activities of Boko Haram. This forced many residents of farming communities out of their livelihoods. In addition to the Boko Haram insurgency, issues such as banditry, communal conflicts and clashes between herders and farmers further contributed to the decline in farming activities. However, the story is gradually changing with improved security and strategic interventions introduced by the Tinubu-led administration. A new dawn is rising. In Demsa and Numan local government areas, located along the banks of the River Benue, these areas have long struggled with resource-based conflicts, as well as frequent clashes between farmers and herders. Today, Glory Oshofisan, a rice farmer, tells a different story.
I am a farmer. I do farm rice. I farm maize, granite before for my family consumption. But now, it's now a business. We used to farm rice. Before we used to get like 5 bags just for family consumption. But now, when we farm, it's now a business. We now get like 200 bags above. So we use it to support our family.
The federal government intervened through provision of soft loans, subsidies on farm inputs and access to affordable fertilizers. Another rice farmer and community leader in Gere local government area, Phineas Elisha, as well as other farmers, extolled the administration's efforts, but says more is needed to make credit truly accessible.
I saw people farming and making it. I said, let me just try. With no experience, I went about seeking for advice. I was given advice, and I had a farm. And believe you me, the outcome of the farm, like was a boom. I was so happy. I was saying, so what have I been doing in the city? I would have come home long before now.
As you are looking at this farm, as you are looking at it, we are not able to even maybe harrow it. We just plant it like this because we have the capacity is so little. That is why you see we do it this way. But under normal circumstances, we are supposed to at least till the soil. The next important diversity in this particular country is agriculture, like the president has been doing, not only the agricultural sector, even the livestock. And I'm so happy that he found it necessary to create even the Federal Ministry for Livestock Development. So in the case of agriculture, if we have the funding, if we have the finances, if the federal government will come in to reduce the cost of herbicide, subsidize it for the farmers, and it should go to the right person.
One of the largest rice mills in Demsa, operating in the northwest region of the country, HW Mill Company. The Party Procurement and Engagement Manager highlights the transformation introduced by President Tinubu's administration, while pointing out key areas the government can support farmers.
Going by present government interventions in terms of funding, farm implements and support from various levels, right from the local government, state and federal level. The government at all levels are trying to support the farmers, because we have seen instances where communities will go, group themselves, register as an organization and seek for soft loan, that is agricultural value chain loan from the development banks as support. So a lot of people are engaged in farming, and some that are also engaged in other activities are now shifting to the farming, because farming is a lucrative business now.
During his visit to the Northeast, Vice President Kashim Shettima highlighted new mechanisms designed to promote sustainable agriculture nationwide.
The Association has rolled out various interventions to boost agricultural productivity and reduce our dependence on food imports. Taraba's role in this vision is central.
In Osun State, southwest Nigeria, the President Tinubu agricultural revolution settled among cocoa farmers in the area. The history of cocoa production in Nigeria dates back to the late 19th century. It has played a vital role in the country's agricultural and economic development. Cocoa was introduced by British colonialists in the late 1800s to early 1900s and was first cultivated in Calabar. However, successful large-scale cultivation began in the Old Western region, particularly in Ondo, Ogun, Ekiti and Oyo states, where it quickly became a major cash crop. Cocoa production boomed after World War II, and by the 1950s and 1960s, Nigeria had become the second largest cocoa producer in the world, behind Ghana. At the time, it was the backbone of Nigeria's economy and the top foreign exchange earner prior to the discovery of oil. This success was driven in part by the Western Nigeria Marketing Board, which played a pivotal role in supporting farmers and stabilizing cocoa prices. However, the discovery of crude oil in commercial quantities in the late 1950s and the subsequent oil boom of the 1970s and 1980s led to a major shift in focus from agriculture to oil. This discouraged cocoa farmers and led to a steady decline in production. Young people also left rural areas in search of better opportunities, contributing to increased rural-urban migration. Prior to the current administration, various efforts were made to revitalize cocoa production, but they yielded little or no results until last year, when farmers began to truly reap the rewards of their labor. At Etioni, Ikpetu Ijesha in Oriade local government area, as well as Owode Farm in Ede, revealed that many cocoa farmers now enjoy improved living conditions. They are now able to afford luxury items and ride in expensive vehicles, thanks to the sharp increase in cocoa prices.
I
made over 30 million naira last year, but before Tinubu came into power, we sell at low prices. We are now enjoying. We thank the current government. We farmers are enjoying the administration. Before we sell a kilogram of cocoa for 1,000 naira to 1,500 naira. But things have changed. Those who could not afford to build houses now have their houses. We now buy cars. Farmers constitute large percentage of Hajj pilgrims this year. We still want government to help us to ensure cocoa price increases. All the farmers now have different projects embarked upon. They have different cars.
The farms also confirmed that a large number of Muslims who performed the 2024 and 2025 Hajj pilgrimage were cocoa farmers. Akinlabi Obisesan, who has been a cocoa farmer for over 50 years, said the income he earned from cocoa sales last year was unprecedented.
All of us are thanking God and the federal government. We are very surprised that the last 2 years have been very good for us. Farmers with motorcycle now use cars.
With a ton of cocoa now selling for several million naira, farmers are full of gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the gains they have experienced after years of hardship and labor in the sector.
This Tinubu administration is helpful. Our income has improved. We thank the president and his cabinet member. I bought my car last year and I'm comfortable. I'm even planning to buy another expensive car this year.
Another cocoa dealer describes the government's cocoa policies as highly favorable to farmers, leading to increased productivity and income.
Now,
Government policies favor farmers. They collect tax. We now sell at price that pay us. Exporters are allowed to come from different countries to buy from us. There is competition that is good for farmer.
Two agricultural economists from Osun State University, Dr. Akintude and Dr. Idris Adeniyi, attributed the soaring price of cocoa to factors such as exchange rate fluctuations, a competitive market system, and market liberalization. They also called for the establishment of more farm settlements across the country and the provision of housing and other incentives to encourage youth participation in agriculture.
That time when Agriculture now established that farm settlement, it's government land. They built house, they supply input, there's land for you to cultivate cocoa. So they even build houses there for farmers. And apart from land for crop, for cash crop, for tree crops like cocoa, there's a land allocated for arable crops.
A single dollar is in the neighborhood of 2,000 naira. It's about 1,008 or thereabouts. That period compared to now, you can imagine that if cocoa, a ton of cocoa had sold for, say, 2 million naira by then, now that we have a price of dollar that is like 3 times more than what it was exchanged for 2 years ago, then a ton will now be sold in the neighborhood of 6 million naira. And that makes the farmer to have good value for their produce.
Dr. Idris Adeniyi also shared her experience from a recent visit to a cocoa producing community in Ikinwa, where she witnessed firsthand the transformation of local livelihoods.
Imagination was totally beaten when we were on the field last December, because we see luxury that you cannot even find in the house of a modest civil servant. You see them locked there in their farms, in their own farmstead where they live. They have electricity, they can afford generator, they drive good cars that is even far better than the cars that we took to them on the farm. And they were even more or less preaching the gospel of farming to us, that we should not be limited to farmers, pen farmers.
I'm really happy for the farmers. They are happy. They are enjoying this system of Tinubu, because immediately they removed the subsidies. Everything changed.
The economist emphasized that beyond cocoa, youth should also be encouraged to engage in cashew and palm oil production as a way to diversify income and strengthen food security. In the south-south region of Nigeria, the Tinubu agricultural revolution arrives the ancient city of Calabar, Cross River State. It is worthy of note that Nigeria's farmers make up 1/3 of the country's workforce, yet agriculture contributes just under 1/4 of the national GDP. This triggered President Bola Tinubu's bold agricultural reforms. At the heart of these reforms is a promise to make food security a national priority. President Tinubu restructured the Agriculture Ministry itself, created a 100 billion naira agricultural development fund, and approved a 150-day duty-free window for grain importation. The president also committed to low-interest loans for farmers, over 2 million bags of fertilizers, cultivation of 500,000 hectares for dry season farming, and 10,000 tractors through public-private partnerships. For decades, agriculture has been the heartbeat of this region, with most families carrying on farming traditions passed down through the years. Here, cocoa is king. The locals call it cocoa, a nod to the glossy red and yellow pods that hang heavy on sturdy trees lining almost every farmstead. Ikom ranks amongst Nigeria's top cocoa producing areas. Her fertile soil also grows richly cassava, plantain, yam, banana and oil palm. For long, farmers have been asking for access to government support to get them directly without middlemen. Now, with President Tinubu's agricultural reforms gaining momentum, farmers are beginning to see new opportunities, improved access to farming inputs, better pricing, and a renewed focus on infrastructure, which is not only lifting the livelihoods of farmers, but also boosting the border economy of Cross River State.
The president has tried. He has tried his best, but he has not done it all for us. Because why? Number one, the access road to this place, people saw it as we were coming. You saw the challenges. Number two, we don't have chemicals. Even the seedlings we don't have. Those who are trying to raise seedlings, you see, they sell us at 1,000 naira per seedlings. These are the things, those are our challenges we want, Mr. President, to help us so that enhance our effort.
I want to give kudos to him because long ago we heard of the abolition of cocoa bud. But if Mr. President can bring cocoa bud now, in fact, that would be the best, and Nigeria will be a leading country. And more farms should be established. Our state government has gone into that, trying to see how 6 farms can be developed in 6 different local governments, in addition to what we have. If Mr. President comes up with a policy for the federal government to own farms, it will be better.
The Tinubu agricultural revolution train hits Kogi State, north-central Nigeria, a state once plagued by poor yields, high costs and neglect. Today, rice farmers are witnessing a new dawn, one they acknowledge is driven by government policy, purpose and promise. The launch of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda has repositioned agriculture. Once a forgotten frontier, the sector is reclaiming its place as the backbone of Nigeria's economy. But how much of this revolution has reached the grassroots?
This is the farm that even government assists us with tractor. Then before, formerly we used to farm. When we used to farm, our seedling that we used to do the rice farming. That time, before we do it, before we start harvesting it, you will see flood will take over everything. But since government have been assisting us with their own seed, we harvest before flood will take over the land.
With the help of those support they give to us, we'll be able to expand. We do more of what we used to do. We didn't do small. We'll be able to carry out, add more to it, and by that, our market has been made open to us. We sell at what we want. Nobody forces us to. There's no fixed price for us.
Last year, we got a seed from government known as Faru 44, in which formerly our former practice is Kwandala. One, Faru 44, you can use it for rice, you can use it for tuwo, and other activities. Last year, I got almost 75 bags. But this present season, I'm expecting 150 to 200.
There are over 76 rice farm clusters across the 21 local government areas of Kogi State. Among them are Ibaji, Geregu, Basa, Ejiba, Girinya, Emiworo, Okumi, Kotunkafe, and others. The Value Chain Development Program funded by IFAD and run by the federal government supports rich rice smallholder farmers by improving productivity, promoting agro-processing, and enhancing market access. Ibrahim was born and raised in Okumi community for generations. Rice farming has been his family's source of livelihood. According to him, through the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, changes is now visible.
Government used to support us with seed and chemical and a water pump and hose. So we used to get those support from government. If I get 40 bag, I set 30 bag, I drop 10 bag for eating. Understand? So that I will use it to support myself for next year, the floor time farming that we are going to be managing that one and eating for next time farming.
Before this wave of policies, the reality for many farmers in Kogi State was grim, with poor access to seedlings, reliance on rain-fed farming, and financial exclusion.
Even before, our people, they go they hear, but now I thank God, me I they get. If they bring, they reach me. Even my farm, you can see my farm. I even thank God. All those things where they bring, they reach my place, and I thank God. Even before, when they use my strength, they do farm. But now, that one don't reduce.
Through the federal government's initiatives, many farmers now received improved seedlings, fertilizers, and even tractors at subsidized rates. Rice is one of Kogi's biggest exports. This staple feeds its growing population, supports large-scale sales, and puts more money in the pockets of farmers.
If I can farm like I can get like a 3 ton. But since we government are giving us input, fertilizer, organic, chemical, super grow, chemical, and tractors, I can get like 6 ton in my farm. It's only this thing that I can take to help my children.
Since I retired from service last year, October 16th, I ventured into farming, and I did dry season farming, which I got about a 6 bag. And since then, I want to express the rain season one again, which I've increased the farm to almost 4 places now. Can see one, one.
Last year, rice were plants, it germinates well. So as I sell and I so get money. This year, I want make government to do and pass that last year. So now that rice, they take the feed. Now that rice, they carry the money, they use they carry children go school.
With the state of emergency in the agricultural sector, the farmers say these efforts are driving a shift toward market-oriented farming through dry season initiatives and landmark bank utilization. Building on this momentum, bold agricultural reforms have reduced Nigeria's reliance on rice imports and empowered them through improved transport and milling infrastructure.
Most of the centers in the state, the milling, we have more than 500 tons in a day. Most of the mills are motorable, and we have little challenges of security, but it's not all that much. And those people coming from the waterways, the report we are getting from them is just one or two pockets of challenges.
The Kogi state government pledges continued collaboration with the Tinubu-led administration to deliver agricultural benefits to its people.
The partnership has been very, very wonderful. The federal government, the state and the local government, and by extension the farmers, we've been doing all we can to make sure we sustain that food security, food sufficiency policy.
Despite challenges like flooding caused by climate shocks and demands for expanded farmlands, farmers in Kogi State say that they are not where they used to be. Niger State, in north-central Nigeria, is the next in the Tinubu agricultural revolution. Across the dry plains of Nigeria, this small seed is making big impact. A tiny seed rich in oil, culture, and economic power, lifting communities out of poverty and putting Nigeria on the global agricultural map. Locally known as Benny seed, sesame is fast becoming one of the country's top export crops. For farmers of Niger State, these tiny seeds is the start of something big for their lives and families.
What makes a true leader in the game? Is it being the first to start? For over a decade, one name has always led in front. That name is Bet Naija. Bet Builder, Bet Freeze, One-Up, Bet Boom. Not just features, but unbeatable odds on over 300,000 live matches. You're playing to win. Just another reason why Bet Naija is truly Nigeria's #1.
We normally farm it by August to December. But where we went and buy our seed, There, they always farm it 2 times, 3 times. And we want to practice it in Ebo here too. This year we have started.
Try by error. Yes, sir. Whether I will gain or I will lose, I will only test.
Sesame thrives where other crops struggle. It requires little water and grows well in poor soil, making it ideal for the arid lands of northern Nigeria. Every farming season in Ebo, young men and women take to the fields not just to plant, but to secure their future.
I do this business and at the farm, and I take tangos. I do first marriage, and I do second marriage. I buy car, I build house for this work. I thank God. I receive money for this business I build for my farm. I receive for the business at least every year. I will see like 3 million, some year 4 million for the business.
Last year, at the end of the year, I got about 50 bags. All the expenses I made in that farm is something like 400,000 naira. And at the end of the year, I realized more than 3-something million there. Yes. I used to farm just like 2 to 3 hectares of farmland before. But due to what I have today and this year and the plan I have, I was able to increase it to 7 hectares, and I still have enough land again.
But the journey from seed to sale is not without challenges. Most farmers still rely on basic farm tools. Many lack access to improved seeds, mechanized equipment, or climate information. Nigeria exports over 300,000 metric tons of sesame annually to countries like Japan, China, Turkey, and the UAE. But here at home, farmers say they are just scratching the surface.
The price as of last year, it was very, very okay. And I think that is the reason why the farmers, even people from the city, they came to the village to come and plant the seed. But this year, in fact, it was very, very bad because the price was not okay at all. And the farmers was very, very disappointed. Even we, the buyers that we used to buy and then take it to where we used to take it to. In fact, we are not even happy.
Due to limited resources, that even if I do the whole farm, at the end of the day, something like chemical, like the fertilizer that I was supposed to apply, we also apply insecticide. I may not be able to have money to buy all those things. And that time of production is the major problem. And honestly, we don't have any way. If government can help us to get something like fertilizer, like this pesticide, like even found to expand our farm, you will say at the end of the day we should be able to do something. Previously they used to give out loan to farmers, but now we don't know what is going on, and the ones they give will do payback, but now they don't give us again. If they give us the loan, honestly it's going to help us a lot, and it's going to help the government too and the process of revenue generation.
The future of Sesame Nigeria lies in innovation and inclusion. The train moves to Ekiti State, the world of cassava farming where tradition meets innovation and potential meets prosperity. Cassava is a staple crop in many countries including Nigeria. It's a vital source of food, income and employment for millions of people. But cassava farming is more than a means of survival. It's a key driver of national development and growth. This is Agbeyewa Farms, located in Ekiti North Senatorial District, which cultivates about 5,000 hectares of cassava with plans to extend further. This farm thrives on superior knowledge of cassava farming and harvest has equally been bountiful.
We are not just farming because we set out to actually revolutionize agriculture in Nigeria. Right from the inception, everything we have been doing has been mechanized. So all our operation, right from land clearing, land preparation, planting, herbicide application, haulage of equipment, haulage of stem, everything here has been fully mechanized. You hardly see anything done in Agbeyewa manually. So our planting is done mechanically, everything is done mechanically. This is majorly because the scale we are looking at is not something you can do manually. 5,000 hectares before the end of this year is not something you can do manually.
Oscar Ayelesho is the managing director. He confirms that the advent of the Tinubu-led administration has improved security and ease of doing business. and import has been eliminated for agricultural equipment.
Number one priority is to create jobs. Number two is to create more jobs. Number three is to even create further more jobs. And what is the mission? What is one of the manifesto, one of the pillars of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu today? To give job opportunity, job employment, to give employment to the teeming youth, and also to the vulnerables, to the new female and women folk especially. And that's what we are doing on our farm today. Who has interest in commercial agriculture? And this current government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has given us that enabling environment to be able to cultivate this. We are not afraid. Now we're inside this kind of plantation now. Nobody has harassed you. Okay? We'll be here since morning, we'll be here since over 3 years. Nobody has harassed us. Because he has taken away insecurity from this area. This used to be the abode of kidnappers, abode of a bandit, and so many unscrupulous elements living in the bush here, tormenting the life of people, killing people. But since this government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came and has brought soldiers around, we have about 5 or 6 army checkpoints around this area. They have vanished. They have gone away. It's a thing of the past.
Cassava farmers in Ekiti say they are now empowering host communities through health outreach, knowledge sharing, and the in-grower scheme that allows local farmers to own farms within their farms, while other creating jobs for thousands of residents.
Security, where there is a bush, thick forest, the Boko Haram, they can easily hide somewhere. But when they clear so many lands, no Boko Haram again, no kidnapper again. They run away. Although they may, the people, they may take line that they see something. When we investigate, we see that it's a lie. And pertaining to work, nobody can say it was lazy here.
It has impacted me in a very, very meaningful way, in the sense that working in a large-scale company such as Iberia, it has improved me in terms of leadership, in terms of the strategizing and the other different levels.
Like Oliver Twist, who always wants more, they are appealing to the federal government to help in the provision of farm infrastructure and subsidies on fertilizer.
One of our limiting factors today, and beginning from last year, was the fact that we are not able to plant all year round. What we want government, because the balls also can fail at any point in time, what we are going to do, because we have some little dams around here that we can drill and can also convert to dam, okay? And we have not gotten that facility to do that, but I know Federal Minister of Water Resources have facility to drill dam for farm like this, with large scale farm like this. Not only here, the other farm, so many streams to help us convert them into big dams so that we can be planting all year round. If they do that for us, I can tell you my 10,000 hectares I want to plant in 2026 can be double. I can do 20,000 hectares next season if I plant all year round and if I have all these facilities.
The future of cassava farming is looking bright with increased demand for food security and sustainable agriculture. Cassava is primed to play an even bigger role in feeding the nation. And with the right policies and investment, cassava farming can become a major driver of economic growth and development. The possibilities are endless, and it is exciting to think about what the future holds for cassava farming. Jigawa State, with its favorable climate and soil conditions, has become a focal point for this initiative. To boost wheat production, the federal government launched the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket. The innovation spans 16 wheat-producing states with the goal of improving agricultural productivity and driving economic growth. For many farmers in Jigawa State, wheat farming is more than just a means of livelihood. It is a pathway to economic independence. In Dabi, a small village in Ringim local government area of Jigawa State, the story of wheat farming is changing. Farmers say recent support from the federal government has allowed them to expand their farmlands and increase output. Many now speak of improved living conditions, better income and growing self-reliance.
Noma alhamdulillah, domin ni dai gaskiya tunda na taso na tarar gidanmu suna harkan noma.
As I speak today, I harvested over 100 bags of wheat during the rainy season and even more during the dry season. Just yesterday, I sold onions worth over 1 million naira and vegetables worth 850,000. Farming has completely changed my life. It's not just a way to survive. It's a profitable business, and I'm proud to say it has made me financially stable and truly happy. I'm calling on my fellow youths to leave small petty businesses and embrace wheat farming as a real source of livelihood. Wheat farming is a total solution. We feed the nation, support our families and even rear animals. I'm not even 28 years old. Yet, just 2 weeks ago, I sold rice worth nearly 50 million naira. This is proof that farming can truly transform lives. I want to encourage more people to embrace wheat farming as a serious business. Before I went into farming, life was very difficult. I could not barely feed my family or meet basic needs. But after receiving support from the government, I fully committed myself to it. Today, my life has changed. I'm living much happier. I've been able to buy a house worth over 10 million naira. I own cars, and I can comfortably pay my children's school fees. Wheat farming has truly transformed my life. We are really enjoying it, and I believe others can too.
Similarly, Amina Musa, a single mother and farmer, also expressed a transformation through wheat cultivation. The profit from her wheat sales have enabled her to invest in her children's education and secure a better future for them.
I am a single mother, and through farming, especially wheat farming, I am able to finance my children's education, feed my family, and live a happier, more stable life. But we still need more help, especially with the rising cost of fertilizer, which is becoming a big challenge for small farmers like me.
After the Russia-Ukraine war, Nigerians recognized the potential of wheat farming in boosting the local economy.
We farmers in Jigawa State, we are always welcome, and we are always very happy to embrace especially this kind of wonderful development.
According to the Jigawa State Ministry of Agriculture, wheat cultivation in the state has increased by more than 40% since the policy was introduced. Governor Umaru Namadi says Jigawa State has invested in agricultural extension services, offering training and resources to improve farming techniques and increase yield.
You can see how agriculture has gone in almost all parts of this country. People have gone into agriculture, have accepted agriculture, and the federal government is coming in to intervene. Now, the wheat program the federal government is doing with the African Development Bank, which Jigawa State is a beneficiary of that, and that is what made us today to be number one in wheat production in Nigeria, because of the intervention of the federal government. The federal government came in with the programs, and then the federal government is also coming in with the same program on rice, it coming with on all this, and the livestock. These are all the issues, because we have seen what the federal government is doing on livestock. That's what even motivated us to go to India and then see how we can key into the process.
Jigawa State has emerged as a leading producer of wheat in Nigeria, from cultivating 55,000 hectares in the 2024 crop season to an impressive 80,000 hectares in 2025. In Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria, from the wide-stretching plains of Shoba and Giwa to the rolling farmlands of Kachia, Zangun Ketef, and Berengweri, Kaduna State is a bedrock of agricultural activity. Here, staple grains like maize, sorghum, millet, and rice are grown on a massive scale. These are the foods that keep households fed and markets busy. Pastor Barnabas is one of those vibrant farmers, and this vast farm applying fertilizer to his farm.
What actually inspired me, it was last year, and we were struggling with food, and especially with the rising cost of grains. And this year, I made up my mind with my family, we will start a little farm, and just to augment because the salaries are not that good enough to sustain one till these times. And so that's why I decided to go into farming myself. Largely maize, and after maize, then sorghum, which is gero, and dawa, and after that, planting granite and soya beans too. Yeah, these are the things I have found around where we are. That is what people are farming.
Apart from grains, Kaduna is Nigeria's largest producer of ginger. The spicy root, popular for its medicinal and culinary value, is widely cultivated in the southern parts of the state, especially in Jaba, Kachia, and Kagago. Tomato farming also thrives in places like Zaria, Markafi, and Ikara. For years, these farmers faced critical challenges: climate change, insecurity from banditry, rising input costs, and poor storage facilities. These hurdles kept Kaduna's full agricultural potential under lock and key.
I want to appreciate Mr. President with the intervention of what he is doing in terms of insecurity, and also the interventions that he is giving. But I want to plead, this is my message to Mr. President, let it get to the very people that are farming. And for some of us, you can get a mudu of fertilizer for 2,000 naira, which getting a bag of fertilizer for around 60,000 naira. So which is not really encouraging. And so if we can have more intervention in terms of fertilizer, it will go a long way.
But since President Bola Tinubu assumed office, a series of targeted interventions have begun to shift the tide for farmers in the state. One of the administration's first actions was to roll out the Presidential Emergency Food Security Initiative, which provided subsidized fertilizers, improved seedlings, and grants to smallholder farmers across the country, including Kaduna.
Last year, we made history by executing the largest distribution program ever seen in Kaduna State, delivering over 500 trucks of fertilizer to farmers. This remains the biggest intervention to smallholder farmers in our history.
I want to say it here on record that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have supported agricultural transformation and development in Nigeria more than any president in of Nigeria. That is a fact. We at the level of subnational, just like the Honorable Minister of State for Agriculture, my friend and brother, the Sungu Senator Sabi Abdullah have just said here, we have received tremendous support. I mean all the subnational in this country. I'm talking about 36 governors. I can stand here to say that no president of Nigeria has supported subnational in the area of agricultural transformation like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I also want to commend him for the creation of the Ministry of Livestock. Here in Kaduna, like I said in my remarks, we are focusing and investing in the area of livestock. And that cannot be sustainable or achievable without the support and synergy between Kaduna State government and the federal government under the able leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Under the National Agricultural Growth Scheme, thousands of Kaduna farmers were given access to mechanized tools, solar-powered irrigation systems, and market linkages. For ginger farmers, a special export support program has opened up international markets for the crop. These interventions are not just transforming farming, they are boosting Kaduna's economy. According to the state agricultural officials, food output has grown by 23% in the last year alone, with more produce entering both domestic and export markets. Kaduna State faced a severe crisis as relentless insecurity crippled down grain farmers, threatening the nation's food supply. Despite their potential to feed millions, farmers in Kajuru, Beningweri, and southern Kaduna lived in fear, with many abandoning their farms due to bandits' attack. President Tinubu's administration has made significant strides in addressing insecurity. He prioritized security reforms, allocating significant funds to modernize the military, police, and paramilitary forces. The impact is clear. Kaduna's grain yields have soared, with maize and rice harvests up to 40% in 2024. The peace restored in Beningweri has attracted traders from various states to the market, which now sees over 50 trucks of grains and cattle leave for other states, boosting the economy. The development has also attracted high-profile journalists who visited to assess the situation.
That's on 5,000. Na shinkafa kenan. Masarava. Dubu goma, 15,000 bags. 15,000 bags of maize. That comes to how much? 15,000. 15,000 bags. At 55,000. 55,000 times 15,000.
Times 15,000.
Yeah, come on now.
That is 825 million.
So he made 825 million from maize alone. So shinkafa. You also grew rice. Dairy rice. How much is that? 8,000 bags. He reaped 8,000 bags. How many bags? 8,000 bags. Now shinkafa.
What would you say? 60,000 times 800. That is 480 million.
480 million.
Yes.
From 480 million from rice.
Yes.
Rice. Sannan kuma
kai farin wake.
Farin wake. Duna ka samu. Dubu daya. Ba ka yi wake da yawa ba. Ka yi wake da yawa.
Nawa ne farin wake?
Farin wake dubu daya.
95,000 naira. Times 1,000.
So.
That is 95 million.
95 million.
Yes.
So even when he reaped 1,000 bags of white beans, he still succeeded in making 95 million naira, which was the lowest that he did. 5,000 Wagner shinkafa. Shinkafa is how many thousand per bag? 60,000 per bag, and he did 5,000 bags.
Yes.
So, no, 300 million. He made 300 million from rice alone. Made 835 million from maize. So now kuma kai wake. So say do na ka samu.
Ina samun kamar shi ma 4,000.
4,000 bags of beans. Na kenan.
Farin wake nawa ne? No farin wake.
Farin wake. Oh, for one bag.
95,000. Yeah.
Okay, beans is 95,000 per bag, and he did 4,000 bags of. He did 4,000 bags of beans.
That is 380 million.
So that's 380 million. All of this are Shekara Gudaka Sam.
There's 1 billion.
Abun sha'awa. Abun sha'awa ne mutum da.
We are many, we are many.
There are many.
Alone. We are many.
Here, there are many. You see me, I'm their subordinate.
Suni Oga.
It's really commendable to the president and also to our dear governor with what has been happening within the state. Insecurity have packed down low to a large great extent, and I've seen a lot of people going back to farm. And because of the insecurity going down, people have decided to go into farming this year more than previous years. I know it will boost the food insecurity, and there is hope for tomorrow, and especially the next year, with this great large number of people going into farming. I think the food insecurity will be cut to a large great extent.
No, we for farmer, we are very, very happy because we are free to farm. We are free to go to different places, and we will come back in peace no problem. We are telling him thank you.
With more support still to come under the Tinubu-led Renewed Hope agenda, farmers in Kaduna are looking ahead with greater optimism. Their reliance, backed by the right policies, is beginning to bear fruit on their tables and in their pockets. Agriculture plays a vital role in Nigeria's economy, empowering over 70% of the population and contributing about 24% of the gross domestic product, GDP. With a rich agricultural heritage, Nigeria is well known for cultivating crops like rice, millet, cocoa, cassava, and yam. Agriculture holds immense potential to drive economic growth and reduce poverty, especially in rural communities. To address these lingering challenges, President Bola Tinubu in 2023 declared a state of emergency in the agricultural sector, paving the way for targeted interventions to transform the industry. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the July 2024 month-on-month food inflation rate stood at 2.4%, showing a slight drop of 0.08% from the previous month. The administration's agricultural initiative promises improved food security. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security revealed that over 309 billion naira has been already injected into the economy under this program.
The Greener Hope, which seeks to provide almost about 10,000 different implements from tractors to harrows and other agricultural equipment over a period of 10 years. And that will also seek to set up about 1,000 service centers across the nation, and also to develop 150,000 hectares of land across the Federation, with 25,000 from each geopolitical zone. So for 6 and 25,000 makes 150,000.
In Anambra State, the impact is visible through the One Youth, Two Skills initiative. The government has empowered young people, significantly increasing youth participation in agriculture. In Enugu State, the government is cultivating 260 farm estates and developing 300,000 hectares of farmland across the 3 senatorial zones. These efforts, combined with ongoing infrastructure projects, are geared toward achieving sustainable agricultural growth. The story is similar in Ebonyi State, where a growing number of farmers, including civil servants, are turning to agriculture, encouraged by government policies that promote the sector as a viable and profitable venture. However, many farmers still struggle to meet their production targets, citing persistent challenges such as lack of access to modern tools, irrigation, and market access.
All of us are now farmers, including civil servants. We are all farmers now. Let President Tinubu come to our aid. He has been trying, but let him send people to monitor all these things. Let extension farmers be reactivated. Very, very important, because it is this extension agent that goes into the rural areas and check, are these things reaching you? Did you get this? Did you get that? Let extension workers be reactivated.
The Ebonyi State Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Princess Nkechinere Iyoku, said the agricultural policies of Governor Francis Mwifuri under the Tinubu-led administration are yielding results, noting that the price of rice have crashed from 40,000 naira to 22,000 naira. The commissioner noted that intensified government efforts to boost food security by distributing agricultural inputs to farmers, supporting year-round farming, partnering with international experts to improve local agricultural techniques, saying that the government agricultural policies are yielding the needed results. So far, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has injected over 309 billion naira into the economy in 2 years. One key initiative is the dry season farming program, which now covers over 500,000 hectares nationwide. In his continued resolve to boost food security and support smallholder farmers, as well as increase Nigeria's mechanization rate, President Bola Tinubu launched the deployment of 2,000 tractors across the country under the Renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Program.
We took a bold decision to establish this renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Program. We are just beginning. Under this initiative, we're also going to do more. While we have here over 2,000 advanced tractors, 50 industrial-grade land preparation bulldozers, 12 fully equipped mobile workshops, 9,000 plus specialized farming implements. This equipment, when deployed, to empower mechanization and service providers, create job opportunities, make farmers easy and more sexy to our young guys.
Experts believe that the policies implemented by the federal government are aimed at bridging the food supply gap, tackling inflation and ensuring both short and long-term food sustainability.
Not too long ago, Mr. President said we are moving now from food security to food sovereignty. That is a bold statement.
The early results are encouraging. The agricultural sector now contributes 29.5% to Nigeria's GDP and expanded by 1.63% in the fourth quarter of 2024, a sign of steady growth.